centers itself at precisely 40 degrees, 02 minutes, and 27.00 seconds north latitude. And these figures multiply to exactly 2,160, which is 1/10 of the 21,600 grid latitude of Stonehenge. That's a base 10 system, using earthworks of comparable format. Of course, there are those who would be more than happy to write all of this off to mere coincidence. After all, history is comfortable with the idea that the early American Indians were ignorant because they didn't have an alphabet like ours. But they did have an alphabet. It was mathematical. And to ensure that we would have no difficulty understanding it on our side of time, they built a third opinion, and right here at Newark. Remember now, we must reckon their longitudes from Giza, not our modern Greenwich. While this circle on the octagon is centered at 82 degrees, 26 minutes, 55.4 seconds west of Greenwich today, it was originally 113 degrees, 34 minutes, 56.22 seconds west of Giza's Great Pyramid, the individual numbers of which multiply to 216,000. The fort at grid latitude 2,160, Stonehenge at 21,600, and now the circle on the octagon at its grid longitude of 216,000. No question about it. They also knew our base 10 system, and they proved it to us through their geomathematics. But what about the octagon itself? What was its function in this incredible system of geomathematical order? Examine it closely. Notice that its 8 sides are opened 8 times. In other words, its 8 sides are divided by 8. Okay, what are we supposed to divide by 8? The attached circle, of course. Divide its grid longitude of 216,000 by 8, which gets us 27,000 exactly. And guess what we have at grid latitude 27,000? Germany's Golo circle, neatly centered upon the Earth at exactly 50 degrees, 20 minutes, 27 seconds, said numbers of which multiply to 27,000, and found from 8 divisions in an octagon 1/3 of a world away. Yet, what was the original mandate that required the Golo circle to be placed at grid latitude 27,000? One quality of mathematics is its ability to run in circles, so there has to be another way, or ways, for this ancient global matrix to prove a basis for Golo. Where do we find that? Before it fell into ruins, when a visitor approached Stonehenge, what was the first number to come to mind? Yes, 2. 2 separate efforts here, lintels and supporting rocks. Then, once inside, the observer finds the 15 inner and 60 outer stones. 3 base numbers here, 2, 15, and 60. And when multiplied, they become 1,800. Now then, take this 1,800 and multiply it by the 15 inner stones to find 27,000, the grid latitude of Golo. The outer circle of stones at Stonehenge was complete, unbroken, but the inner display was divided into 5 separate units. Dividing 1,800 by 5, we return to the base, 360. When they tell us to do something like this, they had to have left us a monument which answers their matrix at 360. Did they leave us something at 360? Sure. Marking their prime meridian as it did, Giza's Great Pyramid centers itself on 360 degrees of longitude. But that's a pyramid, a squared monument involving the pi ratio, and a different aspect of this matrix. What we're looking for has to be round, like Stonehenge. Mexico's Huliaco is round. It says 360 degrees, and that is exactly where it is. 19 degrees, 18 minutes, and 01.5263 seconds north of the equator, the numbers of which all multiply to 360. Huliaco's grid latitude is 360. See, anyone can read this matrix. All we have to do is think, but in their language. We have only to admit to ourselves that they knew math at least as well as we do. Or we can simply throw the maps and the math away, leave things as they are, and remain in the dark. What we are seeing in this matrix is the signature of someone who raised global positioning to a fine art, not Stone Age degenerates. Why does Huliaco have 4 terraces on it? To explain how they did their spherical computations. You see, like Stonehenge, Huliaco is an equation. It shows us how to perform spherical calculations without using the pi ratio. But that's for another time. Thank you.